Hey, what's up, good people? It's Rob Lee here. So we're going to do a quick video about Marine Le Pen and why she lost the French election. I know many people have various opinions about it. The election was rigged, this, that, everything was against her. I understand all that. And what I need you to understand is that many times the Creator will step in and He will appoint kings. He will appoint presidents, prime ministers, leaders for His own purpose, for His own will, be they good or evil. He will appoint them if He deems it necessary or fit to accomplish His purpose. Marine Le Pen and her party, the Front National Party, was a nationalist movement, and it galvanized a lot of people in France to get behind her. She became incredibly popular. She appeared to be the patriot that so many in France were longing for. They wanted to have the same movement that was in America, make France great again, just like make America great again. She took up for her city, she took up for her country, she talked about its glorious past, its future that she did not think looked good at all. She took on Muslims, she took on immigrants, she took on Sarkozy, who made one of the most hideous comments ever, that we must have interracial marriage. We must, and these are the words of Sarkozy, the goal is to meet the EU challenge of interracial marriage. Only a serpent can say this because he's part of a flood and he is a devil, and we know where he really comes from and who and what he really serves. Yes, where you really come from. You're not from France, man. No, you've walked the ancient lands, the demonic lands. She took on the EU, she took on Merkel. In fact, she blasted them. She took on Hollanday, she took on them all. She was the patriot. She appeared to be the antithesis of what Merkel was. She went to the Middle East and met with a Muslim cleric, and she refused to wear the headscarf, the covering. She said no. It only made her more popular in circles. She talked about the ancient history of France, and the Anglo-Saxons were awake, a time when the Frankish warriors roamed the great land of France. She talked about anti-white racism, which is very real. There is a lot of anti-white racism, not only in France, in Europe, and the United States, and quite frankly, all over the world. She galvanized a movement in France. She galvanized a movement in Europe, and even the United States. She became incredibly popular. I was set to do a video with a sister about this woman. And it actually ruined our friendship because I decided not to, because I started to see something about Marine Le Pen that only the Father could show me. I thought she was going to be the next president, even though I never thought she was good. And I'll tell you why, but I thought she would, and I thought she would be the next president of France, and that she would give the people of France time to prepare, just as we in the United States are getting a short season to prepare for the impending hell. So it started out with 10, it was down to 2, and Marine Le Pen lost badly. When you lose by 30 points in an election, people, you have had your rear end handed to you. That's incredibly bad. I mean, that's lopsided. That's not even remotely close. What happened? Well, the world leaders have been preparing for war against you, against me, against the Almighty Father, against Jesus Christ forever. Now, most people know that there is no true political system. You know, there's no such thing as an election. There's a selection, and this is done by the banks, unless the Father steps in and says, if he tells the bankers, I backhand you, get to the corner. The Illuminati, which is not really the Illuminati because they stole the name from us, because we are the Illuminati, we are the children of the light. They started to demand many things of Marine Le Pen. Now, we all know that they do their gang signs, all of them. They do their gang signs with the pyramid, the hand across the mouth. They do all this. This is what they do. They give their gang signs. They give the eye of Apollyon, which some people believe means 666. This is constant, okay? But there's another form of mockery that many of these people will not do. And when I started to see Marine Le Pen do this, I started to see the tide starting to turn and change, and I pulled back from my support for her. And this woman from Canada, who I was close with at the time, I refused to go further with this video. I started to see Marine Le Pen in a different light. When the masters, the serpent masters came, the banking cartel came calling, they put a request upon her. The request was that she had to mock. Now, it's one thing to do the pyramid, the eye of Apollyon, the hand across the mouth. She's done all that. I believe they asked her for something extra special that many will not do. They will not do for certain reasons out of fear. And yes, they should be afraid. However, she was willing to do it because she so desperately wanted to be the president of France. Let's look at some pictures, and then you tell me if you think this is coincidence or if this was done on purpose and if she had to answer for it. God will not be mocked, people, ever. He will not be mocked. In the end, what you were to have was Emmanuel Macron winning by 30 points and giving his acceptance speech in front of the pyramid. You see, people got behind Putin, Le Pen, and Trump as if that was going to save them. 30 pieces of silver, people. That's all it is, man. Watch the pictures, enjoy the video, and at the end, remember, the Father is not mocked, and when you do mock him, you're going to have to deal with his wrath. God bless you all.